Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and Part 8 to What If a Cell Jr. Survived. Before we get into it, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around, and turning on all Omniversal notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comments section. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time, with Vegeta still in Super Saiyan 3 seemingly, ready to fight Super Buu, who has absorbed Cell Jr. and Dabura. But then he drops out of Super Saiyan 3 without realizing it. And this is when Buu goes into strike. Vegeta rapid fires at him multiple times and goes in for his Hell Zone grenade trick to use against Buuhan. But Buu just circulates out of him, out of the blast, and then tries to entangle him with his body. But Vegeta just roars with power and gets him off, and then powers every single drop of ki that he has and goes back into 3 just for a split second for the biggest final flash that would be seen at this point. And Buu is actually injured by this. But Vegeta knows that he's basically almost all out of power and that it wasn't enough. Buu then fires a special beam cannon, which Vegeta manages to propel and deflect with all his energy. And then he uses an explosive wave to eradicate it completely and tries another Hell Zone grenade tactic. And then, right as the blast begin to entrap Buu this time, he goes in for an attack. But then Buu uses an explosive wave, smiles devilishly, and then prepares to teleport out of the way of Vegeta's incoming attack. But Vegeta actually lands the punch. But then Buu uses a Mystic Ball attack and just mercilessly beats down Vegeta until he's reverted back to base and then crouches on the ground, completely out of energy. That final flash and that one punch was the best that he was getting out of this new Buu. He's just too freaking much. If this was normal Super Buu, he could have lasted a lot longer, but he would have never expected him to pull a stunt like absorption. And now Buu says, you should have never entrusted the 3 of you to actually beat me. Now you'll see that very power used to kill you, Prince. And then he powers a Kamehameha. But just then, saviors arrive. Goku teleports in and uses a Destructo Disc, showing old Kai actually, sacrificed his life. And then a knee straight to the face. Because Goku, who powers to 3, and Gohan, who's in Mystic, are back and ready to save Vegeta and defeat Majin Buu. Vegeta is just angry at what took you two so long. And then he has to come to terms with the fact that Kakarot's not only alive, but the brat Gohan, he's even stronger than freaking Super Saiyan 3 before. But none of them have time to process this new saving grace, because then Goo entraps Vegeta, and Vegeta is absorbed. So now we have Buu with Vegeta, Cell Jr., and Dabura absorbed. So think about how crazy that is. Goku tries out with all his might with 3, but he's just absolutely no match. Even Mr. Gohan, who puts up even more of a fight than any of them put together, Buu just matches him at every turn, even more so than Buu tanks. And eventually Gohan's on the ground too. So this new saving grace turns to be a very bad idea. But then Goku pulls out an earring and says it's time for their trump card. And Gohan actually catches the earring. And we get Gokhan versus Buu with Cell Jr., Vegeta, and Dabura absorbed. And Gokhan matches him at every turn. With this, definitely much more potent Gohan and Goku, even if he's not stronger than in canon, Gohan just in general would be far more potent than any version of Vegito could ever be. So it's almost no freaking contest. And eventually he lets himself get absorbed. Dabura is free, Cell Jr. is free, and then Vegeta is free. But then they see the pod containing Fat Boo and know how he was actually the good one and he tried to help them. So they tear Fat Boo out, and then Boo begins his transformation into Kid Boo, starting with buff, but with everybody out and Gohan still fused, and far more serious, potent, and stronger than Vegito. He uses a Masenko Kamehameha and completely eradicates Boo from existence before he even gets a chance to transform into Kid Boo. After this, Elder Kai and Kibito Kai go to planet Namek, and Porunga is summoned, and the wish is to restore everyone who was killed by Babidi and all the men, and for Boo to be forgotten about, which I'll explain more in a minute, since it's way different here. Dabura says, "Now that our proposed alliance is complete, I should destroy you all, but I won't." He says he's going to go off on his own. He is by no means a good guy, but he does thank them for saving his life. As such, he hopes that they thank him for saving theirs. And he'll be off on his own now. Don't worry about him. But also, don't think he's necessarily a good guy either, just because Babidi and Boo are dead. He's still the Demon King. Cell Jr. watches Dabura fly away, and he thinks about this for a long second, and then he says he should be thankful too, and grins at Gohan and everybody else, but he thinks he's going to go off on his own now too. He really doesn't have a place with them, just being a lone Cell Jr. Now that he's back to being a regular teen Cell Jr., and his lust for revenge against Gohan's gone, honestly, he should just go with Dabura. But Gohan then thinks about this for a second and tells Cell Jr. to stop. And says to the Cell Jr., "I'm going too. If you're going, I'm going. You've made me something different, Cell Jr. You've ultimately turned this into what my dad and Vegeta have. True partnership and rivalry. I think you can agree, can't you? Why don't we stick together? No need to think about revenge anymore, right? So, why don't we turn this into what it is? A true rivalship and a test for both of us to grow stronger." And Cell Jr., he likes the idea, but as a regular teen, he'll never catch up to the level of Gohan now that he's in this new mystic form. He's even not strong enough to be in Super Saiyan 3 tier anymore. He's just back to being a teen Cell Jr., crazed for revenge. Gohan says he thinks he has an answer for that. And they use the Dragon Balls to turn Cell Jr. back into an adult without the Majin power. So adult super perfect Cell Jr. is back. After that, Gohan and Cell Jr. go on their own path, turning this ultimate hatred ship of what was Gohan and Cell, killing all the Cell Juniors, two batches of a new breed of Cell Juniors, into an OG Cell Jr. and Gohan having a true rival and partnership. As for Majin Buu, Vegeta doesn't want him anywhere near anybody. And he says, "Is this how we're doing this now, Kakarot? We're just letting Cell Jr. and Dabura and Majin Buu just roam freely? What if Buu sprouts another evil, maniacal form of himself? What if the Cell Jr. decides that he wants to sprout a bunch of Cell Jr. clones and he goes on the same warpath that Cell was willing to? What if Dabura teams up with all of them and becomes beyond what a normal Demon King should. You really want all those situations to arise into something that's much worse than we've ever encountered? Why not kill them all while we have the chance? And Goku says, Vegeta, are you serious right now? You used to be a bad guy too. Piccolo used to be a bad guy too. Tien and Krillin and Yamcha all used to be bad guys. They can change too, Vegeta. Didn't you? What were you doing on Earth while we were up at the Kai world? You were defending this home for your wife, Bulma, for your children. You can't tell me that doesn't mean something. You teamed with Cell Jr. and Deborah. You can't tell me that was out of self-interest or because you wanted to not be able to kill them or something. You know as well as I do people can change. Vegeta, he hates to admit it, but many a times, 9 times out of 10, Kakarot's right. And Vegeta says, do we just let them live? How can you be so certain they won't turn back, even if you erase the memories of Boo? Even if Deborah's not fully bad, and even if the Cell Jr. pairs with your son for the rest of eternity? What makes you think there won't be an after effect of this? And Goku says if there was going to be an after effect of Vegeta, Piccolo, or any of their old, villains type, enemies type thing, it would have happened already. I think that they can live with what's going on right now with everybody else. And if it becomes a problem, he knows that they can stop it. And with that, the Boo saga ends. And we get into Daima territory. What will happen since Deborah's alive, Cell Jr.'s alive, Gohan's more iconic, and there's a much different circumstance and setting going into Daima? And what will happen with Super, and going into more of the future of Cell Jr.'s survival.
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!